Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Don McCullum is 86 today, one of our greatest photographers, particularly a war photographer, and he's been to most of the places of human conflict during the decades of his career, and has also taken photographs particularly in inner city areas, Liverpool and London, of people struggling with poverty. He is a photographer of the underside of society. And he says about photography that it's a case of keeping all the pores of the skin open as well as the eyes. What makes a photographer is not just seeing, but feeling. And I think that's what makes a human being too. I think it's important that we keep the pores of our skin open, aware of the suffering and pain that's going on in many parts of the world. The trouble is that when that comes to our attention through something we read or through pictures on television, it's very easy and tempting, and I confess I often do, turn away from this. It's too painful to watch, too painful to listen to. We turn away from the world's struggles sometimes. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we allow the pain of it to enter us through the pores of our skin, to feel it as well as just to see it. But I think there is a conflict here, and Don McCullum speaks about the guilt that he feels as a photographer when he sees a man about to be shot by another man, or a man who's starving, uh, and having taken the photograph, he then leaves the situation. Uh, and it's this guilt that he feels about this that he says was the hardest thing to bear, although keeping his pores open in such painful situations was distressful in itself. This sense of guilt was really, really painful. And I think for us it is too, when we recognize that we can't actually cope with taking on board, taking into ourselves all the pain and struggle of the world that we're confronted with, but we want to push it away. We want to turn away from it, turn a blind eye to it. I think when we recognise that and own it, and feel the pain and the guilt that we experience when we do that, then at least I think we are on the way to having some compassion. Uh, we can't do anything about everything, um, uh, but it's sometimes important just to share the pain. But if we can't, then that's the recognition of that is at least, I think, the beginnings of compassion.